What's up, everybody? We are back with a ranking video. Today we are talking about, in my opinion, the 10 coolest SUVs. We're going to rank our main list, but I also have a list of honorable mentions that I want to give, and that's just going to be in ABC order. There is no regular Wranglers on here, no regular Broncos, no regular Defenders. There's no, I don't think there's any Toyota products at all on my list. There is one in the honorable mention. I didn't put any 4Runners or Land Cruisers, even though they both are cool, but they're almost like regular traffic even when you see an older one, and no Pathfinder. So those are the ones that aren't on there. For the honorable mentions, the first one we have is the Audi Q7 V12 TDI. Thought about putting on this list. V12 diesel to celebrate motorsport is cool, but I can't imagine that you would ever feel okay driving the thing, even after you just had big maintenance or big fixes done. So the reliability kept it off. Ford Bronco Raptor, if they would put a V8 in it, it would probably be on this list. It's cool with the twin-turbo V6. I really like them. Didn't put on this list. The SJ generation of the Wagoneer is cool. It's iconic. They're overpriced, but they're really cool. I want to have one day. Didn't make the list. 392 Wrangler, not on the list. Almost made it on the list, but I'm also low-key kind of a Jeep hater. Land Rover Defender Octa on the honorable mentions. Think it's cool that you have like a super SUV from Land Rover. Don't trust the reliability, and it just seems like nobody cares that it even exists. I put the Pontiac Aztek on the honorable mentions. It was this close to making it on the list. Say what you want. I like the way it looks. Center console can pop out as a cooler. You could get a tent from the factory for it, and it was in Breaking Bad. That's cool. First gen Toyota RAV4. I love the way they look. I love that you can get a two-door with a removable roof, a manual. So I like that a lot. And then the final honorable mention is the Touareg V10 TDI. Same reason the Q7 V12 didn't make it on the list. V10 TDI, V10 diesel, really cool, extremely expensive, notably unreliable. Couldn't put it on the list. But let's get into our top 10. So at number 10, we have the first generation Cayenne, the 955 generation, but specifically the Turbo S. The Turbo S had a 4.5 liter twin turbo V8 that made 521 horsepower and 530 pound-feet of torque.
It is hugely fast.
It came with a low range transfer case, a locking differential, and height adjustable off-road suspension. It's insanely fast. I don't love the way they look, but it's insanely fast, and it was before Porsche knew what to do with their SUVs, and they obviously turned into much more of a luxury vehicle, but the first Cayenne in general is a hardcore off-roader, and this one has 521 horsepower, 530 pound-feet of torque out of a twin-turbo V8. Really, really cool, and maybe if it wasn't for the styling, I'd put a little higher on this list, but that's number 10. At number 9, we have the Alfa Romeo Stelvio Quadrifoglio, something that I came close to getting because you can actually find them with decent mileage for good prices. Ended up with the Stinger instead. But the Alfa Romeo Stelvio Quadrifoglio is, in my opinion, maybe the coolest SUV on sale currently and in recent years. But it has a Ferrari-derived 2.9-liter twin-turbo V6 that sounds amazing.
The body of an SUV with the voice of a sports car.
It's got 505 horsepower and 443 pound-feet of torque. And on top of that, it rides on the Giorgio platform, which was Alfa Romeo's platform that they also put the Giulia on. And the Giulia is known as one of the best handling sedans of all time. And the Stelvio follows that up, but in SUV/crossover form. It outhandles a lot of sports cars and sports sedans, and it's an SUV, like I said, with a Ferrari-derived engine and a lot of power, all-wheel drive, sports mode, really nice inside, and I think a great-looking car. That's number 9. At number 8, we have the Hummer H1 Alpha, a completely different direction from the first two, but it is it's the Hummer, it's the first generation Hummer based off of the military Hummer. The H1 Alpha was limited, only 729 produced, but it came with a 6.6 liter Duramax, which is what you want. There's, gas powered ones. Those aren't very good in the H1s, but the Alpha came with the 6.6 liter Duramax, which is bulletproof. 300 horsepower, 520 pound-feet of torque.
As the first in Hummer's new performance series, the H1 Alpha gets some serious turbo diesel V8 power enhancements. The 6.5 liter is out and a 6.6 liter Duramax is in. gaining 95 horsepower for a total of 300, with torque up 80 pound-feet to a staggering 520.
Really good for off-road. And along with that, it came with the portal axles and inboard brakes, which gave you more, how am I trying to say, you can go over obstacles easily with the portal axles, and you get more ground clearance with the portal axles and the inboard brakes. It is an off-road monster, other than the fact that it is huge with all that torque and the portal axles and inboard brakes. Plus, it just looks badass. The Hummer 2 and especially the 8.3 don't look that cool. And the EV Hummer is very controversial. But the H1 Alpha, which you could get some in the full hardtop, some you could get with like the removable top, or is it the bed? The H1 Alpha, really, really cool. Then at number 7, we have one that I wasn't sure where I wanted to put it on the list, but I had to put it on the list, and that is the Cadillac Escalade V. It's on this list because it literally has the engine from the C7 Z06 Corvette, the 6.2-liter supercharged V8.
Once you take the wheel, you experience super strength and supercharged horsepower.
It has 682 horsepower and 653 pound-feet of torque. It comes with MagneRide. It's a full luxury vehicle. And its 0 to 60 is in like the 4-point-something seconds, even though it weighs over 6,000 pounds and is huge. It's so unnecessary. I love that Cadillac did this. And just having a supercharged Corvette engine in an Escalade is just an insane thing that I didn't think I would ever see. So that's why it's at number 7. Then at number 6 is honestly one of my favorite SUVs of all time. I wanted one for a very long time, and I still kind of want one. And that is the Trailblazer SS. This one had a 6-liter LS2 in it, making 400 horsepower and 400 pound-feet of torque.
The Performance Division staff immediately stuffed more motor under the Trailblazer's hood.
It was lowered. It had special wheels that were like the SS wheels of the time and similar to all the other different SS cars. You could get in rear-wheel drive, all-wheel drive. I think it looks really good. It's a super sleeper. It's much more of a if-you-know car. You know, the Escalade V kind of is that, but you can hear the supercharger and you know, the Stelvio, you look at it, it's obvious it's something, but the Trailblazer SS of all the vehicles on this list looks the most just like normal traffic, and it has a 6-liter LS2 V8 in it and over 400 horsepower and 400 horsepower and 400 pound-feet of torque. And you can get an all-wheel drive. Really, really cool. I love the Trailblazer SS. Then at number 5, this is kind of cheating because it's two cars that aren't on the same platform, but kind of the same idea. And that is the Jeep Grand Cherokee Trackhawk and the Dodge Durango Hellcat. I just put it number 5 together. This is kind of more of what are you looking for from a Hellcat SUV. But we all know they both have this 6.2-liter supercharged V8 from the Hellcat. Which Fiat Chrysler put in everything that they could. The Grand Cherokee comes with 707 horsepower. The Durango comes with 710 horsepower. They both come with 645 pound-feet of torque. And so it's, do you want a nicer interior, slightly better handling, but you only have 2 rows in the Grand Cherokee? Or are you looking for a full family vehicle with 3 rows, slightly less nice interior, and does not really handle at all, but it's got the more space? Then you'd go with the Durango. The Trackhawk is a little bit quicker, handles a little bit better, but you lose the 3rd row and the cargo volume that you can have with that, because you can fold down the 3rd row. But I couldn't put one on this list and not the other, but they aren't different enough considering the real cool factor is the Hellcat engine. And so they are both at number 5. Then at number 4 is something that I will target as a replacement when the Pajero is gone. It might already be gone by the time I post this video. I have no idea when I'm posting this. But the Isuzu Via-Cross. The Via-Cross is mostly known for looking like a bug, for having this crazy styling. It comes with a 3.5-liter naturally aspirated V6 that I think it's the Isuzu Trooper. This is from a time when GM owned a big stake in Isuzu. I think they just owned it outright. So it has like a GM transmission and stuff in it. And it only makes 215 horsepower and 230 pound-feet of torque. But it's absolutely insane looking. The Japanese models, which it's weird, they actually made the Japanese models for a couple years, and then they made the US models for a couple years, but not at the same time. The Japanese models in 1999 had a reverse camera. So 98, 99 had a reverse camera, which is really cool. And they're just crazy looking. They're really capable off-roaders. And part of that is due to, at the time, their revolutionary torque-on-demand four-wheel drive system, where it uses a lot of sensors to detect a wheel spinning and push more torque to that wheel, kind of like what we see in a lot of electronic LSDs. And so that was really unique at the time. So between that and the backup camera, a lot of advancements that were not common. And on top of that, the Via Cross won 2 stages one year in Dakar and won the 1998 Australian Safari Rally. So it's got a little bit of racing pedigree, and on top of that, only 5,958 were made, so it's also pretty limited, and I have such a soft spot for the weird, crazy Isuzu Via Cross in my heart. So moving on to number 3, another thing that when the Pajero Evo is gone that I'm really trying to target, and that is the GMC Typhoon, which is just a weird 90s product. It was 92 and 93 that they were made from GMC, that they were just doing things, right? This is essentially the SUV version of the Cyclone, which is a little more popular and a lot of people think is a little cooler, but we're talking SUVs today. And so it had a single turbo 4.3 liter V6, just like the Grand National and the GNX had and the Cyclone had, just a single turbo V6, which was interesting. And it made only 280 horsepower and 360 pound-feet of torque, which doesn't sound like a lot, but that gave it a 5.3 liter 0 to 60, which would not be fast, but still be pretty quick nowadays. But that was faster than the Ferrari 348, faster than the base Stingray Corvette, not the Z06. Z06 was one of the fastest cars in the world, and it was as fast or faster than the 300ZX, among other cars. So it was one of the fastest cars you could buy that was not an outright supercar in the whole world, in this really 90s looking two-door SUV. Most of them were painted two-tone. I absolutely love the GMC Typhoon. I really, really want one of these. So if you're watching this and I haven't replaced the Pajero and you got a deal on a Typhoon, please hit me up. DM me on Instagram, Twitter, TikTok, comment on here, something. I would love to have a Typhoon for the right price. But just a really quick SUV. That and the Cyclone were just insane from GMC at the time. Really, really cool. Then at number 2, we have the Pajero Evolution. It was hard for me to not put this number 1. This is probably posted after my Dakar history video. If not, keep an eye out for that. And definitely after my Pajero video, if it's after that, watch that if you want more history on the Pajero Evolution. Although I don't know what order I'm posting this in. But it had a 3.5 liter V6 with the Mitsubishi MyVec system, which is, I'm now blanking on the acronym, but it's essentially Mitsubishi's VTEC, which in a homologation special 2-door, crazy-looking SUV with these big boxy fenders and the cat ear spoilers, or whatever you want to call them. Really, really cool. Like I said, it's homologation special for Dakar. Mitsubishi is the winningest manufacturer ever at Dakar. The Pajero line is the winningest car name badge in Dakar history. Really, really cool, really, really special. And only between 2,500 and 2,693 were made, with about 2,500-ish being automatic and only 150 being manual. Really, really special car, really crazy. I am going to either have gotten rid of it already or going to be getting rid of it soon, depending on when I post this, and I will miss it dearly, and I want to own another one day, but I want to experience so many things. But it is arguably the coolest, if it wasn't for number 1, but it's definitely one of the coolest SUVs that will ever be made, especially as we move into the EV SUV era. And finally, at number 1, this had to be number 1, it's the Lamborghini LM002. Now, we talked about reliability, and this is obviously the most questionable when it comes to reliability on this entire list. Probably not any more reliable than the Q7 and the Touareg that I kept off this list, but They did not have a 5.2 liter V12 that was in one of the most iconic supercars ever, the Lamborghini Countach, which not only that, this also came with a 5-speed manual. So a 5-speed manual, I believe it was the same one from the Countach, a 5.2 liter V12 from the Countach, 440 horsepower and 368 pound-feet of torque, which was a lot back when this vehicle was made. And it was based off of a Cheetah military prototype SUV, which I believe was made in prototype for the U.S. military. But it's essentially a military-style SUV. With a 5.2 liter V12 from the Lamborghini Countach and a 5-speed manual, and only 301 were made. Maybe my favorite looking on this list, besides the probably even over the Pajero Evolution. I don't know. I love the way the Pagevo looks. And over the Via Cross, no matter how much I love the way that looks. The Lamborghini LM002 is by far the coolest. You could have pushed everything down the list and put the Pajero Evo at 3. I think the LM002 is so much cooler. Easily the coolest SUV of all time. But that's my top 10 coolest SUVs of all time. I'm sure I missed something or you disagree with something, so let me know in the comments down below. And please don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell if you like car content, whether it's lists, rankings, car history, reviews, whatever I'm posting. Make sure you subscribe and hit that notification bell to see it first. And please feel free to check out the links in the description. I have my Instagram and TikTok for cars linked down below, as well as my hiking, Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube. So if you want to support me here, there, or anywhere, it is greatly appreciated. But thank you again so much for watching. I will see you in the next video. Have a good day. Bye.